Hey, Facebook. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Craft Cafe Live Show with your host of all things craft, Latoya Riggins. Yes, and we have such a great show for you today because you know what it is. Like I've been saying, it's about that time. It is April 4th. So you know when you hit April, what does that mean? It means it's tax season. Woo! So all of you guys that know me know I have tax anxiety, but I have the most beautiful partners, Childcare Tax Pros, that have helped me to ease that. And listen, guys, when it comes to the Childcare Tax Pros, I really, I'm always ready to brag about them because I have never heard of a company that specializes in the childcare taxes. And it reminded me of what we do over here at Better Futures, specializing in childcare. So we're talking about today how you leaving money on the table and what you need to know when you don't have a tax preparer that knows your industry, that knows the true cost of care. Okay, so we got an amazing day for you today. Hey, we got some more people coming on. We're live on Facebook. We got Talana Coleman in the building. We're going to do a roundabout and introduce everybody. I just want to make sure we are on with Facebook. Let's see. All right. I gotta always check, guys, because technology does whatever it feels like doing. Okay, we're up, y'all. We're up. We're on there. Okay, so let's go. So first up and first on there, just to give y'all a background, if this is your first time coming to the Craft Cafe, we are first business consultants that specialize in childcare. And we created Craft by Better Futures, but this is Craft Family I'm representing today, as our online business and professional development platform, specifically designed with you in mind, childcare leaders. And not all of our members are actually childcare providers or business owners. They are what I call childcare adjacent. That means that they have businesses that support and really nurture children and families, you guys, any type of business. We have music teachers, we have social emotional therapists, all kinds of things, authors like we have on the line today. So we support the community. This is our Craft Cafe live show where we come to, let our hair down a little bit, talk about the issues. We bring in all the experts and we hear from all the experienced leaders. So you can get some great networking in, you can get some great knowledge in, and you also could bring in your 2 cents. So it's for everybody. So let's go around and see who's here. Oh, I didn't even tell y'all who I am. Of course, I'm the host of All Things Craft, you guys, but you already know. You guys know me as the host of All Things, but I'm also the Vice President of Professional Development with Better Futures, and I am the lead marketing consultant on the team, you guys. So I'm all about the logos, digital marketing, social media. You're going to catch me live all over and all the platforms, all right? So make sure you're following on YouTube. All right. So listen, guys, before we get into our beautiful Miss Nakia Whitson over here of Childcare Tax Pros, I'm going to let Miss Talana introduce herself. She's in here on the panel. She just was featured last month as one of our featured authors, you guys. So come on in, Talana, tell them about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to come into your circle and to hear some great information. Thank you so much for allowing me. My name is Talana Coleman, and I am the director of Heaven Sent Childcare. I've also newly created a program, which I'm the director over. It's called Cadazo Literacy and Puppetry. And through that particular program, I basically visit different settings, reading my stories to children. I also teach them how to incorporate puppetry as they read the stories. And I also do workshops. And I've also developed a 6-week curriculum based on Cadazzle, as well as the books that I've written that teaches on subjects of self-worth, acceptance, bravery, kindness, and love. And also with Cadazzle, I kind of infuse it with African drumming, tap dancing, sing-along, slime, bubbles, whatever it is that will get the children excited about literacy. So that's me in a nutshell. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Talana. Thank you for serving. How many years?
20, about 21, 22 now. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Veteran. I love it. And thank you for just being a longtime craft member and one of my favorite success stories. My goodness, you've been doing so much, and I just salute you and just all the knowledge that you've given me. So I just thank you for that. And I watch your channel all the time. You guys watch her channel. She has a storytelling channel on Facebook, and she has, who is the little, is that a little boy that's with you?
Yes, yes. It's a
Okay.
little boy. Yes.
Okay, yes.
He has a lot of hair, but
A
little
lot of
boy.
hair, but you know, these days I don't, they all pretty, so I can't. But yeah, so it's a really exciting series that she's doing and incorporating the children with it. So definitely check it out. Make sure you guys are following her, you're connected with her, and you see her name up there right now. So she got it going on. If you're in Philly, definitely call her so that she could come to your center, you guys. So Pennsylvania, period, because she got a car, you know. If you are within, yeah, right. Can you come to New York? You know,
we got a lot of daycares out there that we could do as well.
Oh, and okay, cool. And I'm also a museums to go approved vendor. And also I will be an exhibitor at first of annual conference at the end of the month. So.
Oh, all right. Well, send me all that so I can repost it. I always repost y'all stuff anyway, but just send it to me. So you guys see, we have everybody that, you know, are always kind of adding in to this industry. So thank you for being here, Talana. We're gonna be talking about taxes today. And we have none other than Nakia Woodson, one half of Childcare Tax Pros. So I want to give you the floor because, you know, most of our viewers, our regular viewers know you, but the people who are new or that, you know, get a hold of it, tell them a little bit about your background and how you came about with Childcare Tax Pros. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty of what's happening right now.
Right, absolutely. Well, first, Latoya, we're not gonna hop over the great intro that you have. Your whole aura is just so exciting just to be around. You just make everything sound better than even like I just love it. I just love it. So we just that's amazing. I'm Nakia, your Childcare Tax Pros. I'm an enroll agent, which is the highest credentials in the IRS. I have my childcare center myself. We've been in the industry, in the childcare industry for over 16 years. We happen to have the tax business for over 4 years now, and we specialize directly with the childcare industry with lowering their tax bill and putting strategies into place so you guys can keep your hard-earned dollars in your pockets.
That's right. I love it. And I, you know, everybody knows that I'm from New York. As soon as I say coffee, I give it away. But when I met with Nakia and Melissa, I was like, oh my, I felt like I was at home. I was like, oh my God, where are y'all from? Y'all sound just like me. And they said the Bronx. I was like, ah. So, you know, New York is a whole nother animal. Y'all that know me knows family childcare is my baby. I started in family childcare at my sister's house in Brooklyn. So, you know, it's so many people. So it's so much, it's a lot of competition, but it's really not because it's so many people. It's enough for everybody, you know? But it's like when it comes down to all the paperwork and the I don't want to say tariffs, that's a trigger word for people these days. But you know what I mean? Like all of the paperwork that goes into trying to think about taxes is probably blowing up your whole mind. And then, you know, depending on the state, the type of business that a childcare business is, when I got into entrepreneurship, they asked a question in the forums in the beginning, is this a childcare business? And I didn't understand why until I started working with childcare businesses. You guys have such a unique business model. A person that's overall business taxes, they're not really thinking in the realm of what happens on a day to day, you know, and that true cost of care. So they can't really even fathom how to even report it, how to use the tax code, you know. So you guys have put that down, like mastered that. Can you talk about like what led to that?
Yes. So what led to it was my high tax bill. So I had a high tax bill. My accountant at the time, like you said, they did not know how to put some strategies into place to assist me with it. So me, being the person who I am, I started reading, loving what I'm seeing, because the tax code is your friend when it comes to business owners. They want you to follow their guideline and they give us incentives to lower our tax bills. So as I started reading this, I'm like, wait a minute, why she didn't help me with this and why she didn't do this? So I started to educate myself, open up the tax business. And like you said, Latoya, there is the childcare industry is so unique, especially when we come to home daycares, because this is the only industry that you are able to write off when it comes to your home deduction, and you also could be able to write off the home office. So what the difference is with a lot of people, for example, a lot of tax professionals that are not in the industry of childcare, they don't realize that we have unique credits and deductions that we can do, that let's say someone in the trucking industry that they have a home office, they have to make sure that that is only 100% for the home office for the trucking. But when it comes to us in the childcare industry, you can use your home, the whole thing, whatever percentage it is, and also take the expense of the home office. So there's a lot of credits and different things that if you know the childcare industry, you are able to lower that tax bill, but you need to have the right person assisting you with it that knows our unique credits and deduction and so forth. So it's a beautiful place to be in when it comes to the childcare industry. We got so much opportunities to lower it, to save it, but we just got to educate ourselves, because a lot of us are not informed. I was one as well. I had to educate myself to understand these, tricks and traits and things like that. And I'm like, oh, wait, it's actually cool to learn about keeping money in my pocket and invested, and building generational wealth. Because by us saving here, for example, let's say retirement and so forth, we are able to invest into our long-term generation and grow. And there's a whole other ball game to that as well. So that was what got us into it and got us started. We just love to save money, love to see my family. I didn't come from a rich family. We came from struggling, and I'm actually the first entrepreneur in my family. So I had to break generational curses, and us breaking the generational curses is what got me even learning more of how to keep this and continue growing it.
Yeah, I love that. And then you're a mom too. So, a lot of people are like, wow, how do you do all of it? That's why I love this industry, because you guys all have wings. It's like people who are in this industry, they don't see any limits. Y'all do it all. I'm like, when do you sleep? I thought I was crazy. Y'all worse than me. Like,
and I love them so much, because it's to the point that I see a lot of my clients, they're like, I felt so bad that I closed today. And I'm like, well, I mean, you need some self-care. And they're like, yeah, but the parents, we love our parents. We love our children. So like, it's so hard for us to adjust everything, but we do it because we love what we do. So once you love what you do, you're just going to blossom with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Now let's see, we have somebody walking. I don't know, Elizabeth, are you able to come on and say hi? Because guys, I just want to let y'all know, that's watching at home, this is in the middle of the day. Pretty much all of our members are working all day long, so they might be on nap time or something. So sometimes they just come in and listen, and they can't really come on. So I always want to give them a chance to come on if they can, though. So Elizabeth, if you could come on, just unmute and come and say hi and tell us who you are. Oh, she's eating now. It's lunchtime for you. Okay, well, enjoy the show while you are eating lunch. Thanks for coming in, Elizabeth. All right. Well, I love it. So I want to let's talk about. Well, this is the thing, guys. I want to tell you guys one thing. I was a person that I still have a little bit of the anxiety, but that's only because it's like a runoff. But over the years, I've went to like these H&R blocks and stuff. I don't know. This is it. I was like, can I say that? But it's not like I don't do that for a living. I'm going to Jackson Hewitt and all of this. And I realized like they just be punching numbers. They're not really giving any thought to what they're doing for my taxes, So I'm just be glad if I get something back. Like, do I get a refund? But what I realized is when I found a tax person that she knew my industry, but what she also understood was how to plan for it, like you said. So when I got to you guys, I already understood the importance of having somebody that's looking out for your taxes, because I didn't even know, like I started my business when I had a job, but I wasn't making no money on my business, so I never even mentioned it. So when I go to Jackson Hewitt and all of these big tax places, they're not asking me questions to really get to the bottom of what is going to make a good return or whatever, the best option for me. They're just trying to get it done because they got somebody else waiting. When somebody sat down and went through and was like, so do you have a business or anything? I'm like, yeah, but I'm making a She's like, give it to me still. Like, let's factor that in, So she started to teach me more. When I got with you guys not only broke down what I could do with my taxes, You talked about how I can involve my children in the mix. You took it a whole nother level, like with the parent thing and being an entrepreneur. So we had you guys on. I remember we did a class called Making Children Millionaires. And that was a big deal because a lot of people were, like you said, leaving money on the table because they're you got to do stuff for your kids anyway. Why not be strategic about it? Can you talk a little bit about what that looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So to piggyback on what you were saying about the other tax companies, what they're doing is that they're hiring, let's say anyone, you do a training, it's called an EFIN, you get your EFIN number and you are able to file tax returns. Now, these people are not educated in much because the training is a basic training that you could do within 15 minutes. So they sitting down there, you're giving them your tax return. The last thing they're gonna ask you is if you have any deductions to lower this tax bill. I never got asked that question as well when I used to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So they never asking you that because they're not aware of that. So that's why a lot of people, when they say, "Oh, I'm gonna go here," but my tax bill wasn't lowered, they're not educated on that. So they're gonna do what they only can do. So that's why once you get into a business, you try to at least go to, if you're not going to someone that's exactly in your industry, at least go to someone that understands business.
Yeah.
Or that bill. So when it comes to, when you were saying about the children, that's one of my favorite strategies because I have 2 children and I put them to work since my daughter was 7. She started doing it. She started in the daycare. She was reading to the children. She was doing little things. Now she's a master at IG and social media.
Oh, that's right.
She posts, she does everything for that. And I was able to pay her. Now, the good thing about it, when you have kids under the age of 17 and you paying them under the standard deduction, is that the amount of children, if you have 2, 3, 4, you can pay them. Last year, I believe the number was 14,600. Today, this year is 15,000. You can pay each child and lower your tax bill, and they don't have to pay taxes as long as it's under the standard deduction. So right there, that's a huge strategy. If you have
Right.
2, 3 kids and you're paying them 15,000 each, or lower than 15,000, right, up under the standard deduction, and you lower your tax bill, your child eventually can open up a Roth IRA, a custodial Roth IRA, put the money there, invest into there, let their money grow. By the time they take that out, that's tax free. That's how we say they could be millionaires real quick, because if you're starting young, you just put some of the money there. The max, I believe, is like 7,000. The other 7,000, you use it on what they were going to use it for regardless.
Mm-hmm.
We're growing, we have our children's learning about money, we having the children's learn responsibilities. All these things factor in. So that strategy is lowering your tax bill, get free money for your children, passing it over without them paying taxes, which is my favorite thing. If okay with, if you have to pay, that's fine, because you made a lot and we put as much strategies into as possible, but we're going to make sure we put as much strategies into possible to lower as much as we can, because that's what the 1%ers do all the time. So why are we not following their rules, So
right. Instead of buying a G-Wagon
or a whole bunch of other cars and you don't need that. Another thing, talking about one of the audit, like the red flags, I tell everyone, if you're writing a car off and you only have that one car, then that one car shouldn't be 100% deduction, because they're gonna say, hey, so when your daycare is closed, do you use it personally? And you're gonna say, yeah, because that's the only car you have. And now you're gonna get audited. And then if you get audited, then they're gonna start opening other things, because they're gonna say, if she's doing this way, she must have other things going on. So you have to be very strategic and smart with what you're doing. Don't try to just take advantage of it. Do it correctly, the right way. So then if they are telling you, okay, show me proof of this. Oh yeah, I have another vehicle, so I could say that I use this 100% on my car because my other vehicle is my personal. But there's people that are using that wrong. They have that one vehicle, writing it fully off, and now you on the red flag list because you didn't, you're trying to be slick, but they're gonna find their way around. The IRS don't play about their money, so they're gonna
that's why I had so much anxiety, because Martha Stewart, they put her in jail. Wesley Snipes, I was like, come on, Martha Stewart, sweet old lady, how y'all gonna put her in jail? So I was like, oh, they don't care, anybody can get it. So I was like, oh no, I'm not trying to be, I don't have Martha Stewart money, so I understand she had to do something going on. But what I was thinking is, when it comes to just that whole taxes, I wanted to also kind of talk about the fact that we are on social media. I know I am, and Instagram be having me fired up. They like, oh yeah, get a trust. All you need to do is this. All you need to do it. So I want you to kind of talk about like when you hear these concepts on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you on, you need to have somebody real in your life that can analyze your situation and figure out how this applies to you. Because I have a lot of people, and I'm like I said, I'm one of them. I get fired up when I start hearing about a trust and all of this and that. But I actually know people to go to. So like you guys, I was like, hey, let's talk about this because I want to get this done with my kids. I got 3 kids. Then when you said okay, the next steps is okay, get a Roth. So then I called our partners, Primerica, like, hey, I need to get an investment account. Like, tell me about this. And so, talk a little bit about how to really navigate that part and not be, bamboozled by the internet experts. You know what I mean?
Yes. So social media can take us left and right, like all over. I be in the Facebook groups a lot, and I see like regular childcare owners that they have nothing to do with taxes, but they'll be telling someone else, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. And but they're giving them the wrong information. So I'm just reading it like, what is this? And then they will just continue. So I always say, first of all, not everyone's situation is the same. So for example, the biggest one is switch your business to an S corp and save 15.3 on self-employment taxes. That is true, but that doesn't mean that you need to be switched to an S corp right now, because what they fail to tell you is that the S corp is a different ball game. The S corp, you're gonna have to require to put yourself on payroll. You're gonna have to require to have your books in order. You're gonna have to require to pay a higher tax bill when you filing your taxes, because it's a lot of work. They forgot to tell you all those things. So that's why we always recommend a certain threshold, which is 50,000 for everyone that's listening. 50,000 or above, then you start speaking to someone that knows and ask them, hey, is it the right time for me to switch over? You cannot just listen to the social media, anything in social media, always double confirm. And definitely when it comes to you, just know that, yeah, it might be true, but it may not be for you. You need to make sure that it's for you, or not you're going to get, that's like when we Google, if you're sick and you start Googling, oh, I feel like I have this. Oh, I must have this. That's because we're listening to everything there. All of a sudden, you diagnose yourself with a whole bunch of stuff.
Right, it always ended in death. Yeah. Like, oh no, I'm gonna die.
You can't get caught up in all that's going on. Just rather just take some time, sit with someone that knows it, and then continue to grow in that way. Don't follow social media. I'm on social media, but I always try to tell everyone, even what I'm saying, it may not be just for you. Listen, but if you have to speak to me, then just book an appointment. Consultation is free with the team, and then we can talk, and then we, guide you the right way.
I love that. And that's what I tell people, like, you have to reach out. And one thing when it comes to being an entrepreneur, there's a lot of pride. You hear people, I'm self-made, I did this by myself. You hear it everywhere. Easter Ray be like, that means I did this by myself. Nobody does nothing by themselves. You need somebody. And that's why people say, why recreate the wheel? If you have a circle, that's pretty much what craft is all about. Craft by Better Futures is creating a hub where childcare professionals, anybody that supports children and families, can go to for the real experts, people that study this, people that do this all day long. That's why we bring in the Childcare Tax Pros. We don't just play around with any old body. You know what I mean? Because you need to have the circle of people that you can come to, that you can consult with, and with Craft, the membership. I was just talking to a person about the Craft Lux membership. Our Craft Lux members get unlimited everything, unlimited meetings, one-on-ones with our whole team. And that means you get access to, because you're like, well, I need a grant writer. We got a grant writer on the team. You can call and talk about anything. We got math finance people. We chock full of finance, because finance is, I call the money waters, because I'm not a math person. I could count money, but all of the strategy, I need help. We got the Wave Boot Camp. We got the Wave All-Stars team is coming out, you guys. We got a new and improved Wave Boot. It's called the Wave Lab, you guys. So it's gonna be dope. Y'all can stay tuned for it. We got some heavy hitters on the team. So we didn't announce it yet, but that's a little teaser, y'all, right? But what I'm saying is, we want to make sure that we are creating that space for this industry. So you're not the blind leading the blind. You're not in silos trying to figure it out, because if we are all moving this industry forward together, they're going to hear us. Legislation is going to see us, and they can't unsee us. We're going to get that budget in the federal budget. People are going to stop taking all of our slots and giving it to the schools. We're going to have to band together, because they're not going to give us that. I was talking to a provider the other day. She was telling me all the stuff they're making them do, like all of the classes that they take. And I bet you not one of them classes talk about business. Now one of them classes talk about taxes. Now one of them classes talk about retirement, about the next level. What happens after childcare pivoting? Like Miss Solana over here, she's been doing her thing like this, but not everybody knows really what their next move is. So we want to make sure that we're supporting whatever that could be. Now, we just had Carmen Cedar Jones walk in. She's out of DC. She's one of the first craft members that I worked with. So, yeah, Carmen Cedar, if you could come on and say hi. You know, she's one of the most relentless family childcare business owners that I have ever met. Stayed open through the whole pandemic and shut down, what, 2-3 times, and came back on them like, pop, pop, pop. Oh, there she go. She had a leg in a class and still didn't shut down. I'm telling you, I talk about it, Carmencita. Then she had a cast the beginning of the year. Then I went back to DC in August, and we was on a 5K walkathon. Was we not? On the hottest day of the year. Okay, so
you got baby sleeping over here. That's why.
Oh, not so loud.
That's all right.
Well, come and say hi.
How you doing this afternoon? I'm just listening in and getting all this good information.
Sure, that's right. Miss Carmen, see that? You know, I'm over here bragging about you, Miss Businesswoman. So do you know about the Childcare Tax Pros?
You said Childcare Tax Codes?
Tax Pros. They know about the tax code, though.
Pros? No.
Yep.
No, I don't.
Well, see, you're in the right place. Okay, come on back in the fold. This is Miss Nakia over here. She's our tax lady. Her and Melissa. Melissa, she's with a client right now. So they are taking the game to the next level, making sure that childcare businesses are protected, and they are actually educated about what's happening with their taxes and have a strategy in place. Okay, and make this tax code work for us, because it's not all bad, you know. It's good to be in business. I'll tell anybody, you know, I've been without a physical job, you know, this is physical job, a W-2 job since 2020. And, you know, it's a lot of work, but it was a lot of work having a job. You know, it's a lot to learn. So, you know, just hosting craft, I get to learn from all of these great professionals. You know, I love my marketing. I learned from you guys with marketing too. But all of the different professionals in the business that come in and really have a love for this industry, that's what makes me keep doing it. And then family childcare being the base and the backbone of childcare, period. The foundation of childcare is in family childcare. So, you know, I'm always rocking my family craft family and my craft family mug, and I'm always bragging about it, because I feel like you guys are the backbone, and you guys have to be the ones to stand up for your business and show people that it is a business. And those of you on the line today, especially Carmen Cedar and Solana, one thing I'll tell you about Carmen Cedar, she's someone who paid her employees even through shutdown in the pandemic. I don't know how she did it, the Lord and all of that, because, and I commend you, Carmen Cedar, as a businesswoman, because I know that was hard to do. And you weren't just thinking about yourself, you were thinking about the livelihood of your staff. And people don't realize that family childcare business owners are doing this every day. They think y'all just, you know, a one-man band man all the time, and it's all about you. But you guys really employ the community. You guys are really out there looking out for people, helping people really serve their careers. You know what I mean? So I just commend you guys for choosing this. Well, I don't know, not choosing it, excuse me. Answering the call, because I always say this industry, that it chooses you. You don't really choose it. It's a calling, and you got to answer it, because there's people that have that calling in their life right now, but they've been looking at that ring because they're scared, because it ain't easy, you know. So I just commend you guys for that. And you know, we got more people coming on in here. So anybody got any questions for Nakia while we're in here? Here comes Melissa.
So to piggyback on the a partnership, like we are a partnership. Like, we are a partnership. what I mean by that is that, for example, we have the childcare industry, right? They run in, they doing the daycare. You can't do everything by yourself, like you said. You do need that person, because when you are running your business, I know how it is. Carmencita, I have a daycare center myself. And when you running a business and you focus on that, you focus on growing, you focus on your staff, you focus on the children. When it comes to the tax business financially, you need someone else to focus on that, because we cannot do both at the same time. You could try, but you just gonna just overwhelm yourself and then be not as 100% as you should in your business, because you focus on trying to do everything. I had different people. I have, for example, some that say, oh, I'm gonna do my books myself. And we had a lady, no lie, Melissa knows, that she came with a stack of papers like this. And she came and she said, oh, I'm going to sit down now and I'm going to do all my books. And I'm like, wait, you're going to look through all that? She said, yeah. And then I'm going to come back to you guys and give you guys the number. I'm like, whoa. I said, so when are you going to have time to work in the business? And she was like, oh, I'll figure it out. So I just was shocked that I seen that. We are a team. Whoever works with us, we are a team. We are gonna always try to help you guys lower that bill. We're gonna always help you guys do stuff. Strategize ahead. That's the main thing that I always say. One of our clients right now, we helped her save, I don't know if you've seen the Toya, we were saying that we helped her save $67,000. And that was because she was strategizing. She hit the million mark in her daycare, but we strategized with her quarterly. Quarterly, I was like, all right, you get into this number now, you have to put this strategy into place. Okay, now we get into this number. People wait to the end of tax time after December 31st to try to ask me, hey, how could you lower my tax bill? I'm like, that was for 2024. So you didn't get a chance to put in the strategies in 2024. There's so much we can do at this point. So definitely try to work with the person that you are doing your taxes with. If the person cannot do your taxes at the right time or deep dive with you, and they waiting for the last minute and just gonna put you on an extension and file your taxes whenever, because I heard of those stories as well, then you need to find someone else. It's okay to look for someone that's gonna help you grow, help you build generational wealth, help you strategize. Like, it's okay to let go. I know sometimes we get so used to being with someone because we trusted them for so long before we had the business, how we want to continue with that same person. After a while, you outgrow the person. You outgrow them. So it's time for you to just get someone else. So it's a team thing. I just want to hop on that. Didn't want to let it fly, Latoya. It is a team thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah. There goes my partner, Melissa.
Melissa's here.
Have a partner.
Hello, everyone.
You're right on time. Tell them how you doing and how you got on into this. We already talked about Nakia, but we talked about you a little bit. We told them you was coming. You were the client.
Okay. Yes, I just wrapped up a call. This is my 11th year due in taxes. I'm an enrolled agent as well. I started off at a nonprofit in the Bronx. I worked there for 5 years, and then 6 years ago, I opened up my own business, partnered with Nakia, and here we are doing childcare taxes together.
We had to do the childcare industry because we love childcare people. We had our own childcare center. So it was only right to continue and educate our people, our community, because I know there's a lot of things that I didn't know. So we had to, I said, we're not focusing on no other industry. We focus on the childcare industry. Is that okay, Melissa? She was like, okay. And we went that way.
Yeah, and Carmencita said, wow, she's an enrolled agent, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah,
we never heard of was
the IRS. Yeah, so just like accounting.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
They have to do the same work that a CPA has to do, and they have tests that they have to complete and certifications that they have to go through. That is a hard thing to do. So I put respect on that industry when I get an EA, because the EA doesn't charge you like a CPA.
Right, they charging by hours. Yes.
Thank you.
Very expensive, but the EA isn't as expensive, and they can also represent you with the IRS. Did I get that right, ladies?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Right. I told you, Carmencita don't play. She know her stuff.
Yes. And
Love
we
it.
also strategize and we focus on the tax industry versus some accountants don't. They don't focus on strategizing. They could be
See,
overall.
that's the key, what you just said and what you have been saying. I've been working with my tax advisor for years as well. She owned a Jackson Hewitt for 25 years. So she started as like a secretary, and she started doing taxes, and she ended up, like I said, with her own business for 25 years. But there were some things that I had to help her understand, or we worked together through, and finding out different things about childcare, because that was not her industry. So yes, that is very important to be working with someone in the childcare industry. So when I hear something, I go back, I say, hey, I just found this out, or I do my own research. But you're right, it's a lot of work.
Mhm.
And you need to have someone who is helping you to strategize and grow your business. I can pick up the phone though and call her at any given time, and she answers the phone and she answers the mail. She's not a typical tax preparer, like you said, that you say something to that she won't go and research on her own, or she's on the phone with the IRS to be clear about some sort of tax credits or break. But the piece that I'm missing is that strategy piece, because I am growing my business. I started as a sole proprietor and I incorporated last year. And now I'm getting ready to develop a partnership with a local public charter school to put in my first infant and toddler program in their school. So the children
Congratulations.
from infancy to toddler to preschool. So with that being said, I need that mindset of folks to be able to say, hey, can see me on a financial. Now I'm that girl with that binder, but I use an electronic system that is connected with my banking system that is, pulling in my data. It also provides profit and loss statement, cash flow statements, and that is all due to crack. And the benefit.
That sound like Wave. Is that Wave in you?
That sound like Wave.
Yes, we were just okay. See, so that, and this is why we got the tax pros. Yes, because they're coming in with the wave. So we're gonna announce it soon, though. It's coming up because we're going full throttle with this accounting financial thing, because that's the missing key piece. That it's not rocket science, but it's a science, and we're gonna bring in the pros. Like we said, we got the pros to make sure you ride it smooth. Because you hear Carmencita, she paying her employees when it's shut down, so she doing something right.
Right, and that's like the main thing that most daycare owners, business owners in general, struggle with, having their books in order. Right now, if you stress because of this, is because you didn't have your books in order. So you're sitting there trying to struggle, like, oh my God, why am I gonna claim? You're losing money. You're leaving money on the table by not having things in order, because you're not going to remember everything. There's no way you're going to remember everything. Oh no, I'm going to remember. I'm going to get to it. No, you're not. There's no way you're doing that. You got some AI men. I don't know what it is, but no, there's no way. So you have to have your books in order, track it. If you can't do it, get Waves. If you can't do that, then get QuickBooks. Whatever it is, get something. You cannot think that you're going to be able to do all that and be 100% business owner. It's just not going to work out hand in hand. Yeah. So definitely have your books in order. So then you won't be stressed when it's tax time.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not sure if Nakia mentioned it, but it's totally fine to have someone who files your taxes and then you have someone that does the tax strategy for you. You can have both.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, because everyone has their own person, and that's fine. Your person might not do tax strategies. So then you go to us and we put that strategies into place. And we could even talk to your person and we could work with them together and help them have everything, in line. So we do that as well.
She may be retiring. Well, she retired when she sold her business, but her agreement, she stayed with the new person, which is an EA, for 2 years, but she's still been supporting her to make sure that her business grows. And her daughter also worked with her for many years and does taxes. But at some point, she's gonna pull the trigger because she took a few of us that she knows have their stuff in low order, and she took a few of us with her. But I know at some point she gonna be like, I'm not gonna do no more taxes at all, and I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I need to have somebody. Because she's there, and then I'm not gonna do this long either. You know, I spent 38 years in the federal sector and retired as a senior executive.
Wow.
This is a call for me. And I'm telling you, I had to say to myself just this week, all of the things that you struggled with when you were going into that 9 to 5 every single day, and you are working and you are strategizing and you're putting plans in place and you're empowering employees and you're mentoring and you're doing all of this stuff, hang in there. You can do the same thing for yourself. So that's the only thing that has kept me here. But what keeps me up at night is staffing. That is a huge, I mean, the level of disrespect and unprofessionalism. If I could get a team together to figure out how do we pull the right people and get ready to start raising up the next generation of business owners. That's where my head has been for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're staying, like you said, in your business, trying to do every step and not outsourcing some of this stuff, you'll never get there. And so I get it.
I love that. And you're right. Like we had Melissa Bowles from Kansas, and we were talking about that, the staffing issue, and then even just the shortage of childcare. And they're coming back on, but they're doing this big project in Kansas, and it's called Manhattan, Kansas. I know, right? And they're doing a accelerator program for childcare businesses, which I think is super interesting. They already broke ground in December, so she's gonna be coming back to talk about where they are now. In a couple of months, we're going to be going on it. So there's a video out if you guys follow her on Facebook. She's Melissa Bowles, Bowles. So she, like I said, I had her on the show before, her team. So they're still moving forward. So you're right, Kamasita, we need to do more about that in DC. We have programs though that are really trying to help with that, but I think we do need to do more and focus on supporting those young educators so they're not afraid to come into the industry. Because when I'm on those Facebook groups, like you said, Nakia, they making it sound like a horror story up in those things. Because I keep my ear to the streets, y'all, and they be like, "How do you stop a biter? What do I do?" Like they would terrify me. The stuff they be saying in these Facebook groups. So we do need a space of the good stuff too, like, you know, to show them what are the reasons why we do this work. You know, the parents that come in wilding, you know, you're gonna get that. You know what I mean? That's a part of business. You got disgruntled customers, but we have to create a space. That's really what Craft Cafe is about, is really bringing you leaders on that have been in the industry for so long. Obviously, you're doing something right. You're still here. People are loving you because they're still bringing children, and you guys are pretty much incubating generations of people. You know, when Talana talks, she's telling me about what the kids she had 20 years ago, what they're doing now. Like they pilots and all kinds of you know what I mean, crazy professions that she helped instill in them. So what I'm saying is this is a place to show the new educators that there's a place for you. What you're really trying to do, it can be done. Of course, there's going to be other crap with it. You know, any business has that, but it's really worth it. And we really need you. You know, we really need the people that's going to shape the future for a better future. You know, so I commend all you guys. Now, guys, I put in the chat on Facebook and on Zoom the link to chat with the pros, you guys, because you guys need to find out what they're doing right, because all their customers are happy. And I told you, I'm one of them. I don't even have a childcare business, but I was like, can y'all do mine still? And it was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, good. And let me tell you, now I work closely with Melissa because Nakia, she always on the go. But Melissa, if y'all heard her voice, She makes me feel so comfortable. Like I usually be, I'm like, y'all know I'm always on the edge of my seat anyway. I'm really high strung. So, and when it comes to taxes, I'm like this. She's like, oh no, that's fine. You know, just put it in the portal. Like it just calms me down. And I just feel like everything is gonna be okay. And I would literally pop my stuff in the portal and I don't do anything else. They do everything else and they just tell me. And I'm like, what? When I saw I didn't even expect to get a refund, y'all, because I was like, you know, I'm scared and, you know, I'm new and I'm still learning. So I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna, you know, I'm scared of jail. But they got me tax returns. I was like, what? Me? What am I gonna do with all this money? You know, like, and so I was like, I felt so much better because, you know, even about my bookkeeping, because I do use Wave also, Carmencita. So that also helped. That was the first layer of calming me down with my taxes, was having my books in order. But then I still got to go in and categorize and all of that. So that's my bad. You know, I take long with that because I don't keep up with it like I should. But they didn't make me feel bad for it. You know, they were very patient, walked me through the things that I needed to know. And I'm a questionnaire. They know that. I'm like, what about this? I'm like a 3-year-old when it comes to questions. Every question I had, and they had a portal, so I didn't even have to bug them. I could put it in the portal. They get back to me. It comes to my phone too. So it's very convenient. So I'm telling you guys, you know, definitely click the link, go in there, even just sit down with them and get some information and see what you want to do. Because I don't know, guys, if you want to talk about the systems that you guys have in place for your clients, you know, because you guys got a lot of tools that you get for your clients. You want to talk about that? Because we got a little bit more time, you know, talk a little bit about that.
Go ahead, Melissa. I spoke a lot.
Okay. So one of the things is once you create an account in the portal, you'll have two things to complete. One is the intake sheet for your personal taxes and then for your business taxes. For your business taxes, it's going to give you a breakdown of all of your expenses, advertisement, all that good stuff. And then for the home daycares, it's going to ask you questions about your time space percentage. You know, this is very important because you want to maximize on the square footage you're using for your home. I believe Nakia touched on this earlier. The benefit of having a childcare business is that you don't need to use every section of your home exclusively for business. Even if it's partial, you're able to deduct that going towards your time space percentage. So, you know, childcare business is the only business that can take advantage of this feature. So we make sure that we help you guys maximize on that. And also, you know, think out the box. Sometimes you're just using your living room completely, but you also have to think about your kitchen area where you're preparing the snacks, the kids are using the bathroom area. All of that stuff counts for your time percentage as well as the hours. So we just make sure that you don't leave anything on the table as far as deductions and even the time space percentage as well.
And to piggyback on that, even if someone's not claiming it, we go back to them and we be like, you forgot this. I know you do this. I know you do this. You do this. You do. And then they go back and they're like, oh yeah, we did. I'm like, yeah, because we know exactly what y'all using. So if you forget, we are on top of it, still trying to make sure we get every single nook and cranny like knocked out of it. So yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And Carmencita just put in the chat laundry.
Laundry room, yes.
It all counts.
Do you guys have any tools that you could use? I used to use Tom Copeland is like the guru of family childcare, and he retired a couple years ago, and so the system is now called Parachute. And I used to have it, but I just recently stopped using it because I never really used it. I was paying for something that I wasn't utilizing, but he has a time and space portion of his platform, or the whoever bought the platform, and now it's called Parachute. They have a time and space in there, so you can, as the business owner, and this was time consuming too to me, but you have to do it. Okay, I'm doing laundry from 1 o'clock today till X amount of time, and This is how much time I spent doing laundry. And what that square footage is of that place. You can put the square footage of each of your rooms, including, like you said, your restrooms and that sort of thing in there. But is there any other platforms that you know of that you could tap in just for that portion of it?
I'm not aware of any other platforms.
Okay.
I definitely read all of Tom Copeland's book. They're very great. And he gives you, a breakdown when it comes to your taxes, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
That I would have to do my research on. I'm not aware of like any other platforms.
Yeah, he has like I said, I may end up going back to it, but they're charging. It was free at first. Wave was also free when we started with it. Wave charges a fee now, a subscription fee now. Latoya, I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
but
they sent me something that said they were changing up
us
their
old
stuff.
heads still getting it for free.
Yeah,
At some point, I know they're going to hit us up,
gonna grandfather us in.
but we're grandfathered for right now. But I was paying like $100 a year for that. It was called Kid Care.
Oh, Kid Care, I know Kid
Yeah,
Care.
it was Kid
Yeah.
Care. But now it's called Parachute because, like I said, Tom sold things and retired. So there's someone new that's taking on that, and they actually host free sessions on taxes. So that's how I picked up a lot of tax information over the years, because Tom and them had a lot of free classes that they offered on taxes.
Yeah, I believe we're gonna start doing more classes because I'm always getting that. They always say, could you guys give out, do more classes and stuff like that? And I feel like it's very much needed in our industry. So that's why I'm always at least on social media trying to educate as much as possible, because we are business owners and we have our own thing. But definitely doing more classes is something that me and Melissa started thinking that we should do more often, just to educate the community.
And they do classes on craft too, y'all. So catch them on the Craft Plus app. You know I just gotta plug it. This, y'all. I mean, this is pretty much why we do this. So, guys, I popped the link into both chats, the Zoom chat and the fabulous chat, the Facebook chat. We got people watching on. Shout out to you guys. We got April Schumann, we got Adrian Briggs, L Jam watching. Thank you guys for being on, and definitely shout out to all the craft members that have went over, and those of you who don't know, our craft members, if you're a member, you get 50% off with the Childcare Tax Pros. So you better hit them up. I'm telling you, there is still a little bit of time. If you haven't done it already, you might need an extension, or you just want to start strategizing for 2025. You may have done your taxes already for 2024, but don't let 2025 go another quarter without you putting things in place, because that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm going to be with you. So don't feel like you're alone. All right. So stay space. I won't judge you because I'm still getting mine together. Because it's never too late, you guys, especially when you got the pros on your side. They know what to do. They know how to do it. Shout out your website, you guys.
Childcare Tax Pros.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Childcare Tax Pros everywhere on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. You can just find us in Childcare Tax Pros, or just put Nikki Whitson on Facebook as well.
All right.
So remember, also want to let everyone know that the extension, since you hopped on the extension is good to file your taxes later on. They give you the extension, but if you owe, you have to pay it by April 15th, or you will get penalties and deductions. So a lot of people misinterpret that April 15th means that, oh, I could pay it later as well because I got an extension. No, if you pay it after that and you owe, you're going to be penalized. So just keep that in mind.
How do you know what you owe if you didn't get taxes yet? You just throw them some cash just to hold them?
Melissa, how you usually break it down?
An estimate.
Estimate.
Yeah, you have some sort of numbers somewhere.
Okay, so if you're wrong, they're not gonna, send you to jail or anything. They just let you fix it, but you gotta pay them something. Put some money down on it.
Yes, it's always good to submit a payment if you feel like you're gonna owe with your extension. The IRS actually will charge you a penalty automatically if you owe more than $1,000. So one of the ways to avoid that is if you had a tax bill for your 2023 taxes, Let's just say it's $1,000 to use whole numbers. You want to do payments of $250 every quarter. Or with your extension, you want to submit $1,000 payment, or whatever you feel comfortable with, just to submit something to the IRS with your extension.
Okay.
You
All
can
right,
use
well, that makes sense.
always get that back. So you'd rather not pay penalties than,
Right. Then do all of that. And so if you overpay, they'll give it back, right?
Yes, you'll get a refund.
Okay, see, so that's not too bad. Oh wow, this has been great, you guys. Thank you everyone that's on the line today. Thank you to the Childcare Tax Pros for choosing this, like I say, choosing to go into it and really look out for the childcare industry and make sure that you guys have people on your side. And shout out to all of the members that's on the line today. We got Talana, Carmencita, and Elizabeth coming on in strong. Thank you guys for being loyal craft members from day one and really just showing up and showing and proving, showing you how to do this, son, as Jay-Z says. But no, you guys do a great job and you're leading by example. And that's really what we want to do at Craft and create more leaders. So I thank you all for coming and have a great, safe weekend. We have more announcements. I'm going to do, at the end, I got to give all of my updates. Okay. So you guys can drop off and get back to your weekend. I'm going to stay on and do my announcements, y'all, like I do. All right. Thank you guys. Mwah. And remember, click the link in the chat, you guys, and go in and sign up for the Childcare Tax Pros. So guys, welcome. We're here in April. This is an after show. I'll give you just a little bit of taste of what's happening in the craft world universe, you guys. And what we're doing is Craft Lux. I love Craft Lux because that is our luxury brand that is geared toward business owners, childcare business owners, really the multi-site and center-based. But what I always say, Craft Lux is also geared to the family childcare business owner that's looking to expand. Not always necessarily into a building, but maybe expand from 6 to 12, maybe do an addition on your home or a remodel, something where there's going to be a huge overhaul. And you're going to need that one-on-one assistance from our team. Like I was saying earlier, we have so many consultants. We have every single aspect. Of course, you have me with marketing. So if you need your logo, we're doing a logo clinic this year where we're going to be looking at your logo, seeing how we could update it, any things that we can do to it. And we're going to create different versions of it so that it fits wherever it needs to fit. We just did a class on that. So if you missed it, check your Craft Plus app, okay, to get back to that. Next up, where I do the professional development too, but we have every single trainer. We have certified trainers if you need clock hours. We have our very own Jahi B. Davis, MBA, and he is super skilled in all business. He's an ex-banker. So anything accounting, financial, retirement. He's also well-versed in nonprofit, you guys, because I didn't even get to Craft Executive. So if you guys are looking to get help with fundraising, writing up your bylaws, recruiting for your board, all of those different things, we got somebody on the team for you. We actually, speaking of that, we have a grant writer. Shout out to D. Miles, Miss Dolores. She's our resident grant writer that helps out our nonprofits with fundraising and, writing to grants and things of that nature. So we got somebody on that team. Y'all already saw the Childcare Tax Pros, so we got taxes on deck. We got the finance team that will help you with. We got a whole craft wave team that'll help you with your wave application, making sure that you get all your stuff right, get all your categories. We have all the templates, you guys, the budget templates for your personal, your business, all of that. And it's already built in with childcare expenses. So what I'm saying is we got something for everybody. So if you have a Lux membership, you have access to, we also have a commercial realtor. He's super busy because, everybody's trying to look for a building and he's all over the nation. So you got to get on his line. We also have all of our STEM. Oh my God, we have our STEM lineup. We got Patty Stein with Pure Play Every Day, where she's doing recycled parts and classes. So shout out to her. She just had a STEAM competition out in Maryland at the Patusa Naval Air Museum. And they had a competition for the youth. And my kids and I attended. It was on this past Sunday. It was amazing to see the kids really inventing things and using spare parts to create things that's sustainable. They also had a flight simulator, which I had the liberty and the joy of learning from other children that flew planes, go with that, pilots, right? And I met some Vietnam vets that were pilots in the Air Force, you guys, that actually met Tuskegee Airmen. So it was pretty cool. So shout out to Patty Stein and Pure Play Every Day. That's one of our partners. She's a certified trainer and she trains on craft. She actually has an upcoming class on craft. Let me tell you about that. Her class this month is coming up. I'm looking at my agenda right now. She's the next class on craft coming up on April 8th. That's next Tuesday. All right. And that's going to be the power of loose parts in early childhood education. Now, this is going to be going through the Head Start regulations for toddlers and 2-year-olds. So if you guys are doing Head Start or you're looking to do Head Start, definitely want to come to Patty's classes because she's going to be breaking down all of the different elements and how to incorporate play, positive play, using loose parts in your program. So you save money, you save the environment, and you really stimulating the minds of the children. All right. So next up, I'm talking about all the different things. We have Dr. O. All right. Dr. O is another one of our consultants. If you never heard of Dr. O, she is Dr. Orinthia Harris, you guys. And she has a company called STEM Early. And that is about STEM and STEAM, but she is gearing it toward those preschool ages because people think that you got to start that when they're big, 6 and 7. No, it starts when they are infants and toddlers, you guys, and you can always teach them about the STEM careers. And her company really focuses on a lot of DEI, the diversity, equity, and inclusion in the STEM industry, you guys, showing children of all colors themselves in the industry. So we got her coming on. She does classes for craft. So you can check her out on the Craft Plus app if you missed her classes. But if you remember, make sure you're listening out because she got some classes coming up. All right. Next up, we got on our team, the beautiful Berna Artist. She is definitely one of our consultants. She's a director of the DCAEYC, you guys. So shout out to DC. And she also does classes on craft. She's coming up this month. If you haven't gotten your newsletter, you know I'm bringing it out for you. She's actually doing a class on April 15th. She's doing a daytime session, you guys. This is our 1 to 2 p.m. session. You know, we've been shaking it up with the time zones because we have members all over the place now. We got a heavy new membership pool out in the West Coast. So shout out to you guys. I gave a shout out to you guys the other day. Now, Berna, she is doing a session on, let's see, let me get that for you. Okay, I got my sheet up. Oh, she's going to be doing sustainable leadership, you guys. This is building resilience and avoiding burnout. And if anybody knows about burnout, it's burn up. Okay, no pun intended. But it's because she has been head of school. She's been, well, she leads the DCAEYC. She has her own consulting company and she's a mom. So you already know she knows about that all too well. But she also is going to be talking about the fast-paced world of the leadership and maintaining a sustainable practice. Okay, so we're going to be digging in with that from 1 to 2 on Tuesday the 15th. Okay, and like I said, anything when it comes to getting accredited and things like that, she's definitely the person you want to talk to, and she's on our team and she's available. So if you have a craft membership, you can meet with her. Okay, it's built into your membership. So if you're not using it, you need to start. Okay, there's no excuse. Come on in here with it. All right, so let's see who's next up. Next up on the craft lineup. Now, Craft Executive, shout out to Craft Executive because I'm still going into Craft Lux. But what I'm telling you about Craft Lux is you want to do it because you got access to all of our consultants. And not only do you have access, you have unlimited access, you guys. You got the classes, you got the one-on-ones. And not only that, my favorite part, we changed the game with the $300 credit. So if you are new to Craft Lux and you want to upgrade, or you're just new to craft period, go right into Craft Lux and you begin with a $300 marketing credit. So that's $300 off of any marketing project that you want to put on for your business. Okay. And of course, you're going to be working with me and my team. So it's going to be fun. Now, as a Craft Lux member, every year that you renew, you get an extra $100 every single year. Now, you can choose to save them all up for a certain project, but I wouldn't do that. I would say spend it now and get it done. Now, we also have some opportunities for you to do payment plans as well, because we don't want anything holding our members back from promoting their business. Because if you can't promote your business, how people are going to know about it, how people are going to really patronize it, and how are you going to grow and change the world? Okay, so we want to make sure that we get you one step closer to it. Okay, we are giving you money down on it. Also, Craft Lux members get 20% off for any services. So that's on top of the discount. Plus, we letting you do a payment plan. Come on now. Who's doing that? I'll wait. I don't have much on, but I'll wait. Get back to me. All right. So just so you know, when it comes to the Craft Lux, you also get access to all of the articles, all of the shows, all of the app functions. But another thing, you also get to access our referral program, which means you can make money being a craft member. You bring in more people, you get your friends to come in, and they come in, you refer them, you get a referral bonus for referring your friends and your family to a craft membership, you guys. So you can actually make money with being a craft member. You make money, you get money. You got to make even more money with the services that you get with them, that you get with spending the money in the craft bucks. So what it is, it's going to support you in whatever it is you want to do, whatever impact you want to make. You're going to need to have the funding to do it, and we want to help with that. Okay, so I want to kind of get back around to where we're going for this month, just so you guys know. I got a few more minutes. All right, so coming up after burner session, we have Anna Ibahar. She is an author. She was actually featured on the Craft Cafe show last month as one of my featured Black authors, you guys. And she is a family child care business owner. She is a child care association leader, you guys. I don't know how she does it all. And she wrote like I think 4 books. Oh my goodness. So she's a certified speaker, and she's coming to Craft Family. She's doing classes on our Craft Family channel. And this session is happening April 23rd. That's a Wednesday, and it's going to be from 6:30 to 7:30. All right. It's called Nurturing the Nurturer: Self-Care Strategies for Entrepreneurs in Early Childhood Education. Let me tell you a little bit about that session. Let me go to the description. Okay. And I'm telling you, when you see Annette, she is one of the most common people that I've ever met. Like, she always makes me feel like I can do anything. All right, so this is going to be focused on the critical importance of self-care for early childhood education entrepreneurs. Y'all going to be talking about, well, not y'all, we are going to be talking about how prioritizing self-care can prevent burnout and maintain balance and support long-term success. So she's going to be talking about the practical strategies for that, because a lot of you guys are not really focused on that because you're work, call you guys Rihanna, okay? So we want to make sure, I'm one of them. I'm not going to go into it, but I've been taking into consideration all of these different things from our lovely instructors, our presenters, our new presenters that we have coming into Craft. Super proud of them. Let's see. Okay, before we go on, I got a couple more. Y'all know we always got stuff going on at Craft. I'm telling you, we stay out here on these streets. We keep our ear to the streets so we know what's going on. So shout out to Jackie Davis. He runs Craft Executive. He is the main instructor, you know, along with our guests that we have come on Craft Executive. Craft Executive is our membership level that is geared toward our nonprofit organizations. And no, you do not have to be a child care association to be in Craft Executive, because we have plenty of nonprofits that are not specific child care associations. Although we do have a lot of associations, but you don't have to be it. You just got to be an inspiring nonprofit or already a nonprofit. Because last year we had people come on that didn't even have a nonprofit yet. They were forming a nonprofit. So they wanted to get the knowledge and they wanted to get the support with forming it. And they were able to form it, and now they're soaring. So we have testimonials and things that's coming out with all of those success stories, you guys. With Craft Executive, we have 2 parts this month, and it is Advanced QuickBooks for Nonprofits. So you heard what Carmencita said about the WAVE bootcamp that we had. WAVE is for entrepreneurs. Once you go over $1 million, you definitely want to upgrade to QuickBooks, you know? So shout out to you guys that are upgrading to QuickBooks. That means you guys are going over $1 million, okay? So that means that the money's out there. We just want to make sure that we can manage it and we can see it. So with Craft Executive, we got a 2-part series for QuickBooks. So I hope that you guys are coming to that. I will see you guys this month. Let me tell you when that's going down. Now, this is only for Craft Executive. That's exclusive, y'all, okay? But I'm going to still tell you when it is. Okay, April 10th. That's coming up next Thursday. And then the part 2 is April 24th, you guys. It's always on a Thursday. Thursdays for craft executive. And like I said, shout out to John E.B. Davis for bringing in the best speakers, bringing in the best presenters for this, and all of the great tools, you guys. Okay. Now, last but not least, I would like to tell you about what we have coming up. Like I said earlier, we got some launches going, so you're gonna stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to give a shout out to also on our team is Cynthia MB Robinson. She did a class last month. Mindfulness has been really, relaxing. The classes we've been doing meditation inside of the classes. It's really good. You will love it, Carmencita. I'm telling you. So shout out to Cynthia MB Robinson, and she's on our team as well. So she's another certified speaker, certified trainer. And like I said, all of our speakers and our presenters, they are the truth, you guys. They are masters at their craft. No pun intended. All right. So just know you're getting a whole heap of knowledge, and you have access to all of the pros. You don't have to go at it alone. So don't let nobody tell you that you do. And just because you're an entrepreneur don't mean you have to do it by yourself. Okay. That is a myth. We can't do nothing by ourselves. We need each other. And that's why we're here. So we can join hands, join forces, and soar. All right. So guys, I want to leave you now and go ahead to your weekend. Drink responsibly or whatever it is you're going to do. Be safe with it. All right. And I wish you guys the best, and I will see you back and see you at the next craft class. Somebody already calling me. Bye, y'all. Thanks, Carmencita.